These are the 3 tips for grant reporting that I'll be sharing with you today. Okay, these are the 3 tips for grant reporting. So first of all, you should follow your donor's needs. And the first step towards that is your application process. When you identify the donor, you'll see that they have certain preferences. They have they have certain requirements they would like you to meet. So those would be the first idea that you get about what are their needs. What is it that they need to prove in order that it was a good investment in your project. Also include quantitative indicators, of course. So if you're helping teenagers graduate from high school, well, how many of those? What level of education did they have before, etc. So those are the quantitative indicators that you should look at, and you should propose in your proposal for your grant. And then once you're doing when you already started doing your using the funding, you start recording information about those KPIs and then reporting to your donor. Also use qualitative indicators. These are a little different. So in the case of the education for teenage high school students, it would be more of okay, how many, you could say they did get 40 kids received training in order to be successful in their university or in their high school graduating system. The qualitative would be, okay, so what were the subjects that you covered? You could also speak of, if you will compare the number of hours regular kids receive, well, how many hours do they receive from your program? So it's more qualitative. In affordable housing, it would be, for instance, okay, so it's the house, it's the square meters of the house in the quantitative, right? But the qualitative would be, do they have enough space for everyone in the household? Is the ceiling good quality, or the floors are a good quality? That would be the qualitative. Number of bedrooms, is more of a qualitative, because it means that it has more capacity to provide the housing needs. So you should look at the qualitative indicators as well, and remember, and use attributes to record impact for a special population or standard. So again, if you're using the same example, the helping teenagers graduate from high school, then you may want to record some attribute. For instance, it could be that among the 40 kids that you're providing the service, there's a characteristic, they could kids could be from a minority group. So you could use that attribute and you could record that information. But also, it could be other circumstances that you would like to record. Remember to look for that also within your donor's needs. They may want to know if, for instance, if there's a gender, right? So male, female, or if there is another characteristic that you may want to record in your process and then report it to your donor. Second, develop a reporting tool by donor type. The best way is to have a tool by each donor, and then because different grants provide different funding for different issues, and those KPIs that you need to report on are going to be a little different. So try to develop a reporting tool by donor type. And it's something you can actually use when you go and propose. If you have a chance to meet or to speak with your donors or the donor representatives, well, you know, it's a good thing to show how do you record your impact, and it may even be useful, you know, for the donor in order to think of you as a probably grantee. And then the third one would be if you have projects with multiple projects, that is the usual case, you know, unless it's a very small campaign. But if you have the larger, you may have different donors for different component. Well, you should again identify special needs by each donor, right? So, as I said, you know, they may be helping families or teenager kids, teenagers graduate from high school, but you know, they may be interested in some different data. And then once you have that, develop a common reporting tool. And this will always help you, because not only you have a reporting tool, but also this reporting tool will help you record the information on a timely manner. I know grant reporting can be the last thing we want to do, but it's really where we show our work. And if you, from the beginning of the project, you set up a system in order to record your impact, it'll be much easier, cheaper, way cheaper. It can be 15% of what would be if you do it at the end of the process, because you have to go back. You have to go back and revisit the situation and get the numbers. But if you do it as you are, delivering your campaign, it'll be much easier. So those would be the three areas that you would need to develop in order to have a strong program for your grant and have a good reporting tool. Remember, we have our institutional giving program.